right, let's keep it spinning. Our quarterback carousel. Now we have Mike Golic Jr. to help us break it down a little further. I want to start our first stop in Houston and Deshaun Watson. How do you see this playing out for the Texans quarterback?
Yeah, I ultimately see him finding his way out of Houston still. I know they're trying to hold firm, but disgruntled star quarterbacks tend to get what they want. And I still see the best landing place being the Miami Dolphins. They've got the most in assets they can offer Houston, including a young quarterback in Tua, and they give Deshaun what he wants, a roster that's close to competing like we saw this year. And selfishly, it allows us to all keep making that same no state tax joke that we love making with high-priced players going to different places on this one. I'd say keep an eye on Denver, too. That Broncos team knows a thing or two about bringing in outsiders to fill those quarterback needs.
Trev, is this your playlist?
Always, baby. I'm grooving.
All right.
Hey.
Let's stay with that groovin' playlist that Trevor let us borrow here on Sports Nation and go to Carson Wentz, who's the least groovin' quarterback maybe on the market, I would argue. Trev and I could have a good argument on that. Junior, I'm surprised he's going to be moved with that number. It looks like he is going to be moved. Where do you see him going?
Yeah, amazing seeing him moved after we thought he won the power struggle against Doug Peterson, but I just feel like Carson Wentz and the Chicago Bears are made for each other. In some ways, it's kind of like a bizarro world, Sean McVay and Matt Stafford, where they were the winners in their respective situations between coach, organization, and quarterback. But these guys also took a lot of the blame for what went wrong with their teams. But you've got DeFilippo, who was the quarterback coach during Carson's best season in Philadelphia, in Chicago, and a boatload of tight ends, because quite honestly, that was always his best effort with the Eagles, and they spent last year stockpiling like 10 of them. So there are some football reasons, but this just feels like destiny.
So that would imply that the Mitchell Trubisky era in Chicago is over. I hope the Bears fans aren't cheering too loud. But regardless, where does Mitchell then end up?
Yeah, I don't think Mitchell ends up starting anywhere next year. I think he played well down the stretch, but not well enough to erase what we'd seen before. And so I think there's a couple of spots that become interesting in here as backup roles. One would be Atlanta. Matt Ryan, also a guy who may be uncertain about his long-term future. David Ragone, who was the quarterback's coach for Mitchell Trubisky in Chicago, now the offensive coordinator in Atlanta with the Falcons, and so could be some familiarity there behind Matt. And then you head to Vegas, where Marcus Mariota starting to get some outside trade buzz, might be working his way out of town, and it's just never seemed quite right between Gruden and Carr, and so I feel like him bringing in a veteran backup into that spot again could be a great kind of gap year for Mitchell Trubisky, a la what we saw from Jameis Winston, to see if he can revitalize that NFL career.
On behalf of Atlanta fans, we good on that.
Yeah. Junior, you're not going anywhere. I need your opinion on New England, because our producer, Greg Colley, thinks Trubisky would be the best choice if it's not Cam Newton 2.0.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you there, guys. And I think Bill Belichick is not going to go anywhere near that one. But I think what could be interesting is the last name I mentioned there, Marcus Mariota, because I think what the Patriots want are options at the quarterback position. Another capable veteran, a guy who can move around in a way they tried to use Cam this year, and it allows them to go searching in the draft. Sitting at 15 is kind of an uncomfortable spot for this, but it gives them some options in what could be a deeper quarterback class this year to try and get the future bridged by the present with a guy like Marcus.
All right, Gojo, we're going to need you back very soon because we still have a bunch of quarterbacks on that carousel. Dak, does he leave Dallas? Aaron Rodgers, is he going anywhere? So we'll have you soon to help us break it down. But in the meantime, everyone, check out Mike Golic with Shanae and Golic Jr. on ESPN Radio. Always a good time. And thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.